I stood in front of the house I grew up in, my suitcase resting by my feet, my hand frozen just inches from the door. The paint was the same pale blue, chipped near the handle the way it had been for years. The wind chimes my mother loved were still there, gently tapping each other in the afternoon breeze. For a moment, everything felt familiar enough to make me believe nothing had changed. I had been away for 3 years. 3 long years of working late shifts in another city, saving money, promising myself I would come back home when things were finally stable. When my father passed away, I stayed longer than I should have, helping with paperwork, funeral arrangements, and grief that sat heavy in my chest. My brother told me to go. He said he would handle things. He always said that. So I left. And now I was back. The door opened easily. Too easily. The familiar creak was gone. Inside, the house was quiet in a way that didn't feel peaceful. It felt hollow. My footsteps echoed as I walked in, and that was when I noticed it. The hallway table was gone. The one my father built with his own hands, the one where my mother kept her keys and little notes reminding herself to smile. The walls were bare. No family photos. No crooked frames. No memory staring back at me. Room by room, the truth unfolded. The living room was empty except for sunlight falling across the floor where the couch used to be. I could almost see my father sitting there, reading the newspaper, clearing his throat before making a comment he thought was wise. But there was nothing left to prove he had ever been there. The shelves were gone. The old lamp. Even the rug that still held the faint scent of coffee and thyme. My chest tightened as I moved toward the kitchen. The table where we ate together, argued, laughed, and sometimes cried was gone too. The cabinets were open and empty. No plates. No mugs. Not even the chipped blue cup my mother used every morning. I stood there, gripping the counter, trying to understand how a home could be emptied so completely. That was when I noticed how clean it was. Not carefully cleaned. Stripped. As if someone had erased us. I called my brother's name, though I already knew he wouldn't answer. He hadn't answered my messages in weeks. At first, I thought he was busy. Then I thought he needed space. Now I understood something was wrong. In my old bedroom, the bed was gone. The curtains too. Even the closet rod had been removed. Only faint outlines on the walls showed where furniture once stood. I sat on the floor, my back against the wall, and felt a quiet, heavy pain settle inside me. He took everything. Not just furniture. Not just objects. He took the proof that we were a family. I remembered my brother as a child, always loud, always confident, always promising big things. He was the one who said he would take care of our parents. The one who said I should chase my dreams because he had things under control. I trusted him because he was my brother. Because blood is supposed to mean something. My phone buzzed in my hand. A message from him. Just one line. I sold it all. I needed the money. You were gone. I read it again and again, hoping the words would change. They didn't. No apology. No explanation. Just a quiet decision made without me. Without us. I wanted to scream. I wanted to call him and demand answers, demand respect, demand my share of a life that belonged to both of us. But all that came out was silence. The kind that fills an empty house and stays. I spent that night on the floor, wrapped in my coat, listening to the sounds of a house that no longer felt like mine. Every creak felt like a goodbye. Every shadow reminded me of something missing. In the morning, I walked outside and sat on the front steps. The neighborhood was waking up. A dog barked. Someone laughed down the street. Life continued, unaware that something had broken inside me. That was when I noticed the mailbox. Inside was an envelope, yellowed with time. My name written in my father's handwriting. I sat there, hands shaking, and opened it carefully. The letter was short. He wrote about how proud he was of me. How he knew I would build a good life. How home was not just walls and furniture, but the way we carry love forward. At the bottom, he had written one line that stayed with me. Whatever happens, don't let bitterness be what you bring back. I cried then. Not loud. Just quiet tears that fell onto the steps where I once waited for my parents to come home from work. I couldn't change what my brother had done. I couldn't bring back the couch, the table, the photos, or the years that were erased in one decision. But I could choose what I did next. I sold the house a few weeks later. Not because I wanted to, but because staying felt like living inside a memory that no longer welcomed me. With the money, I didn't buy things. I rented a small place of my own. I filled it slowly. One chair. One lamp. One photo of my parents, printed from a digital copy I still had. I stopped waiting for my brother to explain himself. Some answers never come. Some apologies never arrive. But something unexpected happened. As I built my new home, I felt lighter. The emptiness he left behind didn't define me anymore. I realized that what he took could be replaced, piece by piece. What he couldn't take was my ability to start again. Sometimes, late at night, I still think about that empty house. About the echo of my footsteps and the silence that followed. But I also think about the letter. About the choice not to carry bitterness forward. My brother took everything when I returned home. But in the quiet that followed, I found something he never touched. My own beginning.